Hi, hello, welcome back. My name is Carson and today we're talking about knitting. Shocker. We have a podcast episode. It's a good one, y'all. It's a good one. I know I said it last time and it was a good one. I think we had lots of fun stuff going on. It was a knit-a-thon. And this time I have another special episode for y'all. I'm gonna foreshadow, the fun news. We have a cow. I'm hosting a cow. Co-hosting a cow with a new friend. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's just jump in. So I'll start off with, the traditional podcast format. I'll talk about my 3 finished objects, and that's all I have, y'all. That's all I have in terms of projects, because I just casted off my last finished object today, this morning. It's still damp, it's blocking, but I will show you anyways. And it's just been a good month, I feel like, for cast-offs. I've casted off 4 things this month, in the month of April, and given I did not start all of them this month, I started this, which is my first finished object, my square tee, which does not look like a square tee because I modified it, but I started this back in either late January or early February, and it's done. So let me just talk about this one. I am so excited for this guy. So this is, like I said, the square tee. It originally has a square neckline, and funny enough, I had this planned the whole time, but I forgot about it. I forgot that I had planned to modify it. From the very start, I've always wanted a sweetheart tee, like a sweetheart neckline tee. I think they just look so pretty. I will probably insert like a fun little clip of me with it on totally, because you can't see it that great right now. But I had planned to do that as soon as I casted it on, or maybe not as soon as I casted it on. I like the square tee because of the square neck. It just looked like a very fun, casual, staple tee, and I want to do it in the spun yarn, which I wasn't super sure about at first. You might have seen that journey of me being like, I don't know about this yarn, and then I was like, oh, but I love it. And I do. Whenever it knitted up, I really liked it. I was very worried that there would be pulling, like color pulling. I've never really worked with a yarn like this before. I would say it's kind of self-striping. Like, you can see it definitely made stripes. So this is Barocco, Medina, in the color Giza. And it's this purpley color, and I want to say I did cast this on in February because I was thinking this would be my Valentine's Day top, and obviously did not get it done in time for that. But I still love it, and I'm so surprised that I am so in love with this color because it's a lot of different colors than I usually knit with. It's more blue and purple rather than warm tones. I would say it's more cool tones, or jewel tones maybe. I don't know, I keep looking at it in the viewfinder because I'm just like, wow, I cannot believe this came together and I have a finished piece. I say this a lot whenever I finish a piece, but I really think this is the staple piece for me. The summer knit, the spring knit, the t-shirt knit. I mean, I've never had a t-shirt that I've liked as much as I like this one that I knit myself. I think that's because of the yarn. It's like a blend of a lot of different stuff. I don't have the label with me right now. I know I'm bad. But it's like a blend of, it's a summer blend for sure. It's cotton, I want to say maybe linen, but also recycled fibers maybe? Maybe not recycled, maybe just acrylic. There's a lot of different stuff in there mixed in with cotton, so it's not like that hard cotton feel that I personally feel like I get with cotton that just feels heavy to me, given I've only knit with heavier weight cottons. But this is DK. And I just love it. So the journey of this one, I will talk about it. I casted it on wanting the square neck, but soon after I was like, it's around Valentine's Day. I really want the sweetheart neckline. And I thought it would make the perfect blank canvas for that because it is a square neck. So I was like, I'm sure I can figure out how to just cinch it together. Lo and behold, I did. But it took me so long to knit on this guy. I was knitting on the body forever, and I totally forgot that was my plan until I cast it off and I was like, oh yeah, it's not done. I wanted to modify it, and I'm so glad I did. I do think I would like to make just a square neck tee because I love that neckline too in the future, but I've always wanted a sweetheart neckline. I think they're just so pretty and intricate, but it's really not that hard to do, y'all. It's not that hard at all. It was a literally last minute modification. I did it after I had finished the body, finished literally everything, blocked it. I will insert a video that I watched. There were a few different ones on how to do it. It's just a YouTube video. I think I literally looked up how to knit a sweetheart neckline, even though I knew it wasn't I didn't have to knit it. It was just like a modification at the end. And you literally just take a piece of yarn, and you weave it up and down, like the top. I started pretty low. I know you can't see. I started pretty low, like maybe midway down, and weaved it up because I wanted like a kind of a more dramatic one. I did it at first like maybe 4 inches down from the neckline, and it just didn't create as long of a cinch as I wanted it to. And so I ended up going like, I don't know, probably like I said, halfway down the shirt and doing it. And yeah, all you do is you weave a string, you know, down and then up, no, up and then down, and then you pull it up really tight and then tie it as tight as you can, depending on like how dramatic you want your cinch to be. And I am in love with this top. I'm in love with it, and I'm excited. I'm gonna wear it today to a little get together. I don't know what these hands are, not jazz hands, but little get together. And I'm just excited. I'm like proud to show this one off. So that is my square tee. I'm trying to think what else I can say about it. I struggle all the time with knitwear. Not so much my sweaters, but for sure like tank tops and t-shirts. I feel like they always show my bra. And you know, I used to be able to go braless just because I didn't care, and I still don't mind that much, but I am a full-time dairy cow at the moment and I have to wear like pads so I don't, milk doesn't go everywhere. But that's my current situation. So I need to wear a bra just to like keep, my milk maker supported, if you know what I'm saying. And this one hides my nursing bra perfectly. Like, look, I'm moving, I'm grooving. You don't see. You couldn't see my fingers, I was snapping. You can't see my bra, it doesn't matter, I can move around and it's fine. This is probably a strange video. I admit, all I've drank and eaten today, this is how I've nourished my body. I ate a tortilla, and I ate a sharing size of M&Ms, and I drank a full cup of coffee. So we're feeling it today. We're feeling the energy. Maybe that's where these came from. That's encompassing my nourishment for right now. Anyways, moving along. That's my square tee. I would highly recommend whether you just do, the square neckline, because that's really pretty too, how it was designed, or you can modify it. It's the perfect staple piece, the perfect blank slate. It's just really good. And I really wanted another one, really bad, maybe in white. We'll see, but that's this guy. Ew, and I will also say, I made this little necklace. I mean, it's nothing special. I was in a really crazy, not crazy, sometimes I get hooked on hobbies, and I think knitting is the only hobby that I've kept for like a super long time. I've been stuck on it, but sometimes I'll be like, I'll dabble in this, I'll dabble in that. And I dabbled in jewelry making, not even making, I literally just, like you do in preschool, you just kind of string things on a string and it's fun. And I got into that last summer, so I like this piece. I did add a cool little hook on the end, which I thought was, elevated for me. It's not just one that you tie on. Anyways, that is also me made. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. That's that. That's what I'm wearing today. Me made necklace, me made t-shirt, which I love and I can't stop looking at, to be honest. And I feel like I'm looking kind of nostalgic today, like early 2000s or 90s. I didn't mean to do that, but it's just one of those days. It's a good day, so let's move along. Okay, I'll talk about this next because I talked about how over the years I've like dabbled in this, dabbled in that. It's funny, my last podcast, my introduction was like, all I do is knit. I don't crochet, nothing. Funny enough, I picked up crocheting over last weekend. I've tried it before in the past and it just did not stick with me. I don't know why. Just couldn't do it. But I really have been wanting to like spring up our house. I went through this mode. If you've been along with me for a while, you might remember in December I was like, I just really want to winterfy my house, so I still have, you can't see it, but I still have like a string of grapefruit and oranges dried that are hanging up there. I need to replace that with something else, but I have all these garlands in my house, and I had one that I saw every day that was on our fireplace, and I loved it, but it's not winter anymore. I wanted some color, in our house. We have this old blue jean couch that we'll probably keep for a while. It's been through every person in my family. It's ours right now. we have been, you know, blessed with the jouch. But I want to add some color. So I picked up crocheting because it's pretty fast. Like, I knew I wanted to make something simple, something dainty, so I'll stop jabbering and just show you. These are my first prototypes. I looked up how to make a puff flower, and this is the perfect project to start off with. At least for me it was. It was super simple, just 2 colors, and this is just cotton yarn, medium weight cotton, different colors. I don't know what brand, I'm sorry. I don't know. But so I just made these puff flowers. These are my very first ones. And after I think this was my first one. It's honestly probably the best looking one. It all went downhill from there. Not joking, kind of joking. They look fine. So I probably made like 20 of these last weekend. Because they were so fast once you got going. And once I, you know, got the pattern down and figured out how to hold the yarn, that was hard for me because, like, knitting, the yarn's usually to my right. But for crocheting, it's kind of in your left hand while you know, do the movements with your right. And it was just, like, different. You know, obviously, it's different from knitting. But it was fun, and I got the hang of it, and I was just going. Do they look good? They look okay. Are they perfect? No. My attention is so wild. I think I should have created these with a smaller hook. I just kind of did the designated hook. Not designated, but the one that, you know, the back of the label recommends for the yarn. And I think if I did it smaller, it would have really puffed out. And I think if I would have done a tighter tension on these like chain 3s, then it really would have puffed out and looked like the tutorial that I watched, because these look a little different, but it's okay. I made them and it was fun. I thought I had it. Okay, I do have another one. So basically what I did with all these, I made a ton of these flowers in different colors. I used some stuff from my stash. I used, I did end up returning that extra yarn. What was it? The Karen Cakes yarn. And I got just 3 cotton balls from Michael's. That's what this color is. And maybe this green color, I don't remember. This one could have been from stash too, but just cotton. And once I figured out which size hook I wanted to use, because this one's way smaller, you can tell, than this one. Oh, that's the back. This one's way smaller. This one used a bigger hook. I think I did most of them this size. And I just strung a piece of twine through the top 2 petals, and I created a garland for our fireplace to hang right below our TV. And it turned out really good. Now, I had a million ends to weave in, and I was so lazy because there were like 20 of these little flowers that I just cut them off. Like, I tied them, cut them off, and some of the daisies unraveled on the garland, and so I had to make new ones when I was like stringing it, but it's good, it's good. The farther back you get, the better it looks. If you, like, you know, squint your eye and like tilt your head, then it looks really good. But I do like it. It brings a lot of color into our house, and maybe I'll like insert a picture somewhere in this montage of me speaking to show y'all what it looks like. But I really like it, and crocheting is so much faster than knitting. I remember I wanted to make a mushroom garland for Christmas and for Wilder's room, and I only got through 2 knitted mushrooms just because I feel like it takes so much longer than, you know, crocheting this flower. I mean, once I got started, a flower took me like 5 minutes. Poor Wilder. I did these all last weekend, and I did them during his naps, and so I've said this before, he's a contact napper all the way. We rock him to take naps just to make sure he gets his nap in, and I love it. But so he's, you know, in my arm over here, and my arms are going, you know, crocheting away. So I don't know how he stayed asleep, but maybe he's just used to it by now. So that was my other finished object, a little daisy crocheted garland, and now I'm a very beginner crocheter. Wow, who would have thought? There's a lot of fun things I feel like this opens, I don't know, not my mind to, but like it just opens the door for a lot of different stuff. Like, I would love to create more decorative pieces for our home. I would love to do a few granny squares and then stand them up and do like a wall hanging for our house. And, you know, I love all the granny square bags. I really want to do some granny squares next. I just love that look. It's so timeless. I feel like, I don't know, that's my crochet journey as of right now. Still definitely knitting mostly, but dabbling in crochet a little bit here and there. Okay, so my last finished object and my last project as of right now are my wildflower and honeycomb socks. I made a friend! These took me 2 weeks. It took me a week for each sock. Oops, one is still wet and damp. I think, yeah, this one is still blocking. I'll show you what this one looks like off the blocker. So pretty. So I talked about this one a little bit in the last podcast, so I won't talk too much about it, but it is a pattern by This Handmade Life. Y'all know I knit her patterns all the time. I love them. And yeah, I used this very pretty sock yarn that my sweet sister-in-law, almost sister-in-law, gifted me for Christmas. And this kind of inspired what I'm going to go into next, but I'll talk about the socks first. I did make some modifications. They are shorties. They're not quite as long as the original pattern, which, you know, you can do whatever you want to with socks. And I did knit the full-length cuff, and then I just folded it and whip stitch it together. So there's like the tiniest peak of this yellow yarn or greenish yarn coming out, and then it goes into the pink and then back into the very pretty variegation. And I really love this yarn. I have never knitted with a variegated yarn before, I don't think. I don't think so. I think I was always too scared. Just because I was like, I don't know how it's gonna knit up, you know? And it was so fun because literally every stitch is a different color. And it was so much fun to knit. And I was a little bit afraid that the eyelets, like the little flower lacy details, wouldn't show up, but after I blocked it, they do. I mean, probably not, they're not as prominent as they would be if I would have used a, like just a straight color or even a tonal, but I love them. And I have some, they're not platform shoes, but they have some thicker soles on them. They're like thick sandals that strap up, and I would love to wear these with them. I love wearing socks on Birkenstocks, but my Birkenstocks are so old now. They rub like on the underneath of my socks, so I don't want to like ruin the color of my hand knit socks with my Birkenstocks. I don't know if that's a thing that Birkenstocks do or if that's just my dirty feet. I don't know. I don't know. Given mine are pretty, I've had mine for a very long time. They last forever, but that's that sock. And now it has a friend. And now I have a pair. Wow, I love these. I love them so much. So I guess technically the cotton was an acquisition, but getting into the very fun, all this was fun. But I'm excited about this next part. I cannot get my words out. It's probably the coffee, the M&Ms, and the tortilla. Anyways, I will just talk about what this yarn inspired. This is one of those yarns. I talked about it in my spring knitting plans. I don't think I talked about this one specifically, but I know y'all can probably relate. I have some special yarns in my stash that either someone gifted me, or they're just really pretty, or maybe they hold like a special memory, or maybe they're indie dyed. I have quite a few in my stash. And like, they're so special to me, I struggle to cast on with them. I just want to look at them, but they are made for making. So this was definitely one of those yarns. I loved it so much. It just had all these pretty colors in it, and it just felt really special. It was a gift. It's variegated, you know, it had all, like I said, pretty colors, and I really struggled. I cast it on a sock with it, and I ripped it up because I was like, it's not doing it justice, you know? It's just so pretty, so special. And finally I was like, no, you know what? You're gonna stop staring at this yarn, and you're just gonna cast something on that you want to knit. And that is why these were born. And so, you know, that was me taking a special skein and turning it into something that I'm really gonna cherish now, which, you know, I already did cherish the yarn. But like I said, yarn is made for making. So fast forward, I had this idea in my head to do a knit along, like a special skein knit along. And then I was reached out to by the lovely Amanda from Birch and Lily. She is a fellow YouTuber. I actually have seen quite a lot of her videos. I'm a subscriber, you know, so it was just so cool that she reached out to me. And she's also a yarn dyer, so she reached out and she was like, you know, I just found your podcast. She was sweet. She's like, I really like it, and she asked me if I would be interested in being gifted yarn, and she was so nice. She was like, you don't even have to put it on your podcast. I just, you know, want to give you some yarn. I was like, Well, of course I'll put it on the podcast and talk about it because, I don't know, all indie dyed yarn is very special to me, personally. Because it's an art. It is truly an art. You know, I've tried to dye my own yarn. I've dyed with avocado. Didn't turn out that great. And I just think indie dyers are amazing. And they're usually so nice. And so I was like, yes, I would love that. So then I thought, why not ask if she'd be interested in, you know, collaborating on this special skein knit along, because, you know, her skeins are special to me. And so, you know, I asked and she was so stoked. So this is the official announcement. Me and Amanda from Birch and Lily are co-hosting a knit along. It is called the Special Skein Knit Along 2023. That is the hashtag you can use if you want to join along. We decided to run this knit along, you know, technically from May 10th, crazy that it's about to be May, through June 10th. I know that's just a month, but we are accepting everything, you know, whips, finished objects. I mean, I might not finish anything myself, but, you know, cast-ons, literally anything. Join us and just grab that special skein. I'm sure y'all have some, and like I said, it does not have to be like a super expensive skein or a super luxurious skein or like a skein that, I'm saying that word a lot, skein. I hope that's how you pronounce it. It just has to be something special to you. Like maybe someone gifted it to you, or maybe it's like the first skein you bought at your local yarn shop, or, you know, whatever the case, grab that skein and let's gosh dang knit it, you know? So if you want to join, we do have a fun giveaway prize. So that's kind of why we put an end cap to it, just so we could, you know, gift this prize as soon as we can. So I will show you all the yarn that Amanda gifted me, and she also gifted one for this knit along giveaway. Let me show y'all first. So she was so sweet. She was like, you pick whichever one you want to give away. So I did have authority over that. This is what she gifted. So pretty. So pretty. This is what she sent me. I mean, look at these. So springy, so beautiful. So I'm keeping these two, and we are giving this one away. This one is so pretty. It's just, I have a few of these skeins in I have one skein similar to this in my stash that's like so different from everything else I've ever knit with. I'm like, it's so special, what do I do with it? So that's kind of why I picked this one out, because it has these very pretty speckles, and it's this super pretty purple pink color. It screams spring. It's called Marvelous, because it's mauve, I guess. And it's on her birch sock 2-ply base. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's 400 yards, 100 grams. You can make some good stinking socks with this, or even like a little summer top. Y'all, how pretty. I was holding it upside down. So yeah, she gifted this for the knit along. So, I guess I should say we're doing this on Instagram, just because that's the easiest place to post pictures and, you know, do hashtags. So if you want to knit along with us, this is what you got to do. If you want to be entered, you know, to win this special skein, and we'll honestly I'll probably sprinkle a little bit, just like, I want to hit up my local yarn store and, you know, contribute something to this giveaway too. And, you know, if you're someone who is a maker, and you're like, I want to be involved too, and if you feel like, you know, donating something for this giveaway, feel free to reach out. I would love to talk to you and get you involved. But what was I saying? How to do it, how to involve, how to join. So pick a skein, any skein, pick 2-3 skeins of your special, you know, that just hold that special place in your heart that you're having a hard time casting on because they're so special, or just one that, you know, you could be wanting to knit with it right now. Pick a special skein. Cast on something, you know, beautiful. It will be beautiful, I'm sure, whatever you choose to cast on. And then you know, if you want to post a whip, a work in progress picture on Instagram, or a finished object picture on Instagram, if you happen to finish something within that time frame, May 10th to June 10th, just use the hashtag special skein KAL 2023, and I'll put everything up here, and I'll put everything below too. I'll link to Amanda's, you know, shop. I'll link to her Instagram. Please also tag me and Amanda on Instagram so we can, you know, see it. So I'll put all of our stuff up here. So, you know, pause the video, jot it down, get it ready for the knit along. And yeah, let me look at my notes. I'm wondering if I'm missing anything. I feel like I've just been blabbering. But yeah, honestly, I think that's it. And so, you know, we'll pick a winner. We'll just randomly draw someone on or around June 10th. And we'll reach out to you on Instagram. Yeah, listen, I know some of these videos get some scammers just because you say the word giveaway, then these bots come at you and attack you. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask for your personal info, for, you know, your credit card info. Please do not give anyone, if anyone tries to, you know, pretend that they're me with like an account that looks similar to mine, either on Instagram or YouTube, please ignore. Please ignore. I will go through and try to make sure that none of that, I guess I report if anything comes on here. I don't know if it will, but just in case, just know that I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you for credit card info, personal info, nothing, especially not on YouTube, because like we're probably gonna reach out over Instagram. Anyways, disclaimer, please don't fall prey to the scammers, because I know they're out there. So yeah, oh, and I guess I'll show you this too. She also gifted me these little stitch markers. So yeah, definitely go check out her shop, her Instagram, her YouTube channel, because she has an awesome YouTube. And yeah, I guess I'll show you what else she gifted me. So anyways, if you want to win this little skein, I feel like this is a great way for us to like connect to as a community. I know it's over Instagram and not YouTube, and like I hope you can join us on Instagram. I know not everyone might have Instagram. It's just like the easiest place, you know, to see pictures. But yeah, I definitely let me know in the comments below if you're planning to join, and like if you have a special skein, what your story is behind your special skein, and like what you're planning on knitting with it. So yeah, I'll show you what else she gifted me, and I honestly want to use this for the knit along. So this is on her birch sock as well. It's called, oh, I'm gonna butcher this name, Petrichor. Oh, that's not I should not even attempt that, but it's a super pretty green color, so pretty. And then also, it's called Allie. That's a simple word I can pronounce. Yeah, so pretty. Y'all know I have a thing with yellow these days, and I'm so excited. I almost want to pair these together for the knit along. So running into the next portion of this video, I want to do a little special skein tour with y'all, because you know I didn't have that much to show y'all, but maybe this will give you some ideas, get your mind flowing about like, oh yeah, I do have a skein that I could use for this, or like, oh, I have been wanting to knit that, just it feels too special, you know, too pretty. So I want to share with y'all some of my own special skeins from Stash. I want to share with y'all why they're special to me, and maybe if I have any projects I'm thinking about knitting with them, I can share those with y'all. But yeah, I'm still marinating what I want to cast on first. I'll probably cast on a couple things for this knit along, and I'll share the journey on my podcast throughout the month on Instagram. So yeah, definitely follow us over on Instagram. Amanda's gonna be posting about this too on her YouTube and Instagram, and we're just excited. We're excited. So yeah, I just keep showing this because it's so pretty. Thank you so much, Amanda, for, you know, wanting to host this with me and donating a super pretty skein. So the reason, I guess the whole point, not the whole point, but like this will be another special skein to add to your stash if you want it. So that's why I was like, do you want to, you know, would you be down to give a skein away in the giveaway? Because it's kind of the same theme, you know, this feels special. At least it does to me. So yeah, these qualify for me for my special skeins because, you know, they're gifted. Amanda's so sweet. And so yeah, these are up for grabs for what I could cast on. And I honestly think these can make really pretty, the sunflower socks by Stone Knits. I'll insert a picture. Just like colorwork socks with these two. So yeah, that's an idea. But let me get into the special skein tour officially. So y'all might have seen some of these in the previous videos because I feel like I've just been marinating on what I want to cast on with them, and then I'm always like, no, they're too pretty. I can't touch. I can only look, but you can touch. This is your sign to touch your yarn and cast on. So first off, this is the notorious skein from Chelsea from Eclectic Sook. She gifted me this as well. This is indie dyed. Not only is it indie dyed, it's naturally dyed with birchwood. Hold up. Brazil wood. So yeah, naturally dyed. This one is special to me because of that reason. It was gifted by a super, super sweet, you know, person I can now call fiber friend. And I don't know, it's so nice. It's perfect for summer. You know, a reason that I've had trouble casting on with this is because it is naturally dyed. So I want to make sure to preserve, like, Chelsea's art. Because she did tell me that there is a potential for it to change color a little bit, like depending on the acidity of, I don't know, I guess maybe if you wash it in the washer or like even next to your skin. So I'm like, oh, I want to preserve it. I don't want to mess up her color, but I'm thinking it probably will be turned into socks potentially. So yeah, I need to cast on something with this, and I'm thinking I also have this skein, which is super special. This is the first skein of indie dyed yarn I think I've ever bought, and honestly, I love supporting indie dyers, but I just, like I've said this before, on a budget, major budget. Honestly, I'm on a ban, but like, I don't like saying that word because I'm the person who likes to do the opposite of what people tell me. Even like myself, I'm telling myself that I'm on a yarn ban. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna buy all the yarn, I'm like Miss Rule Breaker over here. Don't know why. I don't know if y'all are like that too, but yarn budget. Tricking myself. Anyways, I love supporting indie dyers when I can. And Savannah from Savannah Rose Handmade, also fiber friend now. She's actually from the town that we used to live in Washington, Bellingham. And she reached out to me. She didn't gift this yarn. I bought this yarn, but I just love talking to her through Instagram, just feels like a friend for sure. And so we've talked. Wow, I'm trying to get this to focus. I think I shared this in one of my earliest videos. Gosh dang. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just this really pretty variegation. It's called Midsummer, and it's so pretty in the cake, but in the skein, gorgeous. And so I'm really excited to knit up something with this. I've saved it. This is definitely one of those that I'm like, it's so pretty, it's variegated. A lot of times I don't know what to do with variegated yarn because it's so pretty, but I'm just afraid to knit it up. I don't know why. I need to stop that. I need to stop it and just knit it. So I honestly want to almost pair these two guys together. Same pattern, I'm thinking. Stone Knits Daisy. It's not daisies, but it's like the sunflower. I'll put a picture up. It's a set of, it's like a colorwork set. But I'm thinking the ones with just like the single daisies that go around the whole sock. So I'm not sure if it's contrasty enough. I've never swatched for socks before, but I kind of want to just to see how it would look because I almost want to use Chelsea's from the Eclectic Sook as a base and then do the variegation as the color work to make the little daisy. That'd be so fun for summer, and I'm really into making shorties right now just for summer, and they're so fast too, so it's like a little rush of adrenaline when you finish it, and then you have the whole pair of socks. So I'm thinking I could do something really fun with these. I need to use these so bad. Honestly, I'm like, all this might just be sock yarn. I'll have to knit a lot of socks for this knit along. So this might be the oldest one in my special skein stash. I bought this last year maybe from an indie dyer who this is probably my first indie dyed yarn. Still special. All of it's special. From Yarrow Yarn Co. The reason I really loved this, of course I love the color. It's naturally dyed. I'm not sure what it's dyed with. But I love A Court of Thorns and Roses, and the yarn dyer released this and she named it Fey Sand. It's a one of a kind skein. And Fey Sand for, I don't know if it's Feyre or Faye. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't even know how I read it in the books. In Rice Sand, it's, them together. And favorite characters of all time. Love their love story. So sweet. And yeah, it's just so good. And I was like, I have to have this yarn, And it's all these pinks and purples. I'm not sure if it's like stripy or, I don't know. I'm excited to knit it up though, and it is 80% wool, 20% nylon. It's on her sporty sock base. Disclaimer, this yarn dyer isn't that active. I'm not sure if she's totally stopped dyeing or if she's just not as active as she used to be, but I don't think she's posted in quite a long time. It almost matches this, but yeah, super special. It is not plied though. It's like, I mean, I guess it's plied, but it's like single ply. It's just twisted, you know, it's not plied together. And I've heard that it can be tough for socks. Like maybe they're not as withstanding if they're not plied. Maybe I'm just speaking nonsense. But I think I would still try to make socks with this. It feels very rustic. I'm not sure if it would get softer after I like block it, you know, put it in wool wash and stuff. But I still want to try it. I think it would make really good hiking socks. Like maybe even a broken rib sock or a rib sock. So yeah, I was really excited about this whenever I bought it. It's just so pretty. One of those I just look at. And I don't usually knit with purples that much. But maybe I'm in a purple phase with this. I keep looking back at my tee, but who knows. So that one's a contender. Love, love, love it. On to the next one. Wow, I'm realizing a lot of my indie dyed yarns, honestly the only ones that I own, are all special to me, which, you know, it's an art. Wow, that's bright on camera. This is a kinetic knitter sock set Into the Thistle. I got this back in the fall maybe, or winter, I don't remember, but it's this really pretty greens and yellows and this super bright red. And I have no idea what to make with this. I'm thinking maybe just some, maybe library socks, because I never went through with knitting library socks before. I think it would be really cool texture sock. So yeah, I love these colors, although they're not super springy, so I probably will hold off on making this until, I don't know, later, unless I just get a hankering for these colors soon. I'm just really into like the pinks and I guess the yellows. This is pretty yellowy. It's pretty similar to this, it just has more reds in it. So yeah, love the sock set though, and I think that's the one and only sock set I've ever bought. So it's special. It is special, because I love socks. Alrighty, let's move on. Let's switch it up and do not sock yarn. I've talked about this before, I'm not going to talk about it a ton. I got this in a D-stash, so I love buying yarn secondhand. This is special to me because it is so luxurious. It feels so good because it has cashmere in it. I've never knitted with cashmere before. Actually, I might have. I think Barocco Renew has like a teeny tiny bit of cashmere. This one has it's 20% cashmere, so a little bit more than I'm used to. And I could knit socks with this. I have 3 skeins. Before I showed this in my spring knitting, I said I was gonna knit a cumulus blouse or a tee, whichever one. I think I want to knit the floors or flores. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'll insert a picture. I have been having a thing with broken rib recently. I love it. I love the texture. I love how it looks. That one would be a commitment for sure because it's fingering weight. I don't even know if I've knit a fingering weight sweater before. I could knit it short sleeve or like 3/4 length, depending on how much yarn I have. So I really think that's the project for this yarn. I just need to cast it on and like commit some time to it. So I'm not sure if I'll cast that on for this knit along. Maybe I will, and it'll just be like a really long summer project for, you know, the fall, or even just like a light, because it's fingering weight, it'll be a light sweater. So yeah, this one is super special to me just because it's so luxurious, it's so pretty. The color is something I don't usually go for. It's this blue again, cool tones. I'm usually a warm tone gal over here, but these cooler tones are getting me. Okay, on to the next. My parents got me this skein for Christmas, and again, you know, I was super impressed because they don't know anything about knitting. They just know that I love to knit. They actually tried to watch my podcast one time and they were like, this is weird. And they turned it off, and I'm like, please don't watch unless you're, you know, a knitter yourself or you want to be, because I'm sure to other people it is strange just talking about, you know, yarn and projects. I just thought that was hilarious. They were like, yeah, we tried to watch a podcast and then we turned it off. Like, thank God you turned it off. Anyways, they gifted me this skein. It is from Indigo Guinea Fiber. Again, new to me dyer. It's the color Wildflowers. My parents know I love wildflowers, and it's so special. I have never had a speckled yarn before. That's kind of, whenever I pulled this one, you know, the one that, out of all the ones that Amanda sent for the giveaway, I was kind of, the reason why I said it reminded me of a skein that's in my stash is because of the speckles. You can kind of see. So yeah, I have never knit with a speckled yarn before, and I'm really interested to see how this will knit up. This is one again, I'm like, it's so different, it's so special, it's so unique, like what pattern do I make with it? And I'm thinking library socks or something textured instead of, you know, a colored pattern or even just a plain sock. I want something textured, something, maybe even some lace, kind of like how I did with the honeycomb and wildflowers. But yeah, I love it, and I need to use it. Okay, on to the next one. This one was gifted by my very sweet sock swap partner, Karen. Hi, Karen, if you're watching. You know, she gifted me 2 skeins, which was so nice of her. She did not have to do that. It was from the Little Mercery sock swap this Christmas, and I loved that experience. So of course, anything, you know, that Karen sent me, it has a special place in my heart. She sent me another skein as well, and that one is special, but I already know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm saving it. I'm gonna make some hibernal socks, so I'm gonna save those for later. But this is Explore Knits Serengeti, and it's DK weight yarn, and it has the prettiest colors, like all the colors of the earth. I think it's a part of her National Parks collection. And yeah, it's called Rocky's DK. It's 100% superwash merino, and it's just so pretty. This is one of the ones that I just want to stare at, and I've kept it in the hank because I personally love the look of hanks, the way they're like so swirly and, you know, very uniform, and like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just so pretty. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. I'm thinking it'll probably become a hat, because I wear hats all the time in the winter, unless I want to make like a shawl with it or something. I'm not a shawl wearing person though, so I would hate to knit up a shawl and then be like, oh, it's not for me, and not wear it, because I need to wear something. I need to use this for something that I can like wear all the time, or, you know, just really appreciate, because I love this yarn. So yeah, super special because it came from Karen, and, you know, now we're friends again. I have so many fun fiber friends. Okay, now this one was also in my spring planning video, and I've talked about this yarn so much just because I have no idea. I keep being like, I'm gonna use this for, you know, this pattern, and then I just never ever do it. So this is Barocco Mantra. I got this at my local yarn shop. This might be the very first yarn actually I bought from my local yarn shop here where I live now, and it is so special because, for one, I love the color. It's so pretty. It's like dandelions or lemonade, and it's 100% silk, and I've never knitted it with silk before, like 100% silk. And I just think this will make the perfect summer top, summer tee, but it's like so perfect in my mind. I'm like, what pattern is like worthy of this yarn? I know, I'm a little unhinged. So I said I was gonna make the easy teasy tee, something along those lines. Put a picture here. It was in my spring knitting plans, and I'm thinking I'm still gonna make that unless I just have this crazy notion to like make something else if I'm suddenly inspired by something different one day. I've even thought about the Ingrid top by Gregoria Fibers. I already have that pattern in my library. Actually, I've just never knit it, so who knows. But this is definitely a special. I have 4 of these, I think. 4 special skeins. Last one, and of course I actually had to pare this down because I was like, there's no way I can talk about all these skeins. Y'all will get so bored, so I had to pare down my selections for this. But this one is the last one that I'm going to show y'all. It's Queensland Collection Perth, and it is technically sock yarn. Look at how pretty. It reminds me of Spin Cycle in a way. It's these greens, again, colors I don't usually go for, like more cool tone colors with like sprinkles of oranges, which y'all know I love orange. The reason this is special is because me and Logan bought this when I was pregnant. We went to Spring, Texas, and I cannot remember which yarn shop this is from because there's 2 there, or maybe 3 there, but we went to 2. And we were looking for yarn for Wilder. Now, I don't think I will end up making anything for Wilder with this because, you know, as I've been making him stuff, I've just realized, you know, 100% wool probably isn't the best for this weather. He'll probably only wear it, you know, once. My original plan was to make a tiny newborn cardigan, but like he's never worn cardigans before, and I don't think he will. It's just not in the cards for us at this moment. Maybe when he's older, but like right now, he just doesn't. So I'm thinking I will make socks with this, but that's why it's so special. Me and Logan picked this out together. And yeah, it's fingering my yarn. I just love the colors, so I'm thinking these would make really pretty hibernal socks as well. Like the faux cables, I think it would probably drift into the colors really nicely. So yeah, all that to say, I don't know what I'm actually casting on. I need to sit, I need to look at this, but like not for too long. Because that's why there haven't been any projects with this already. I've just been like, I'm gonna sit on it, and then I do for forever. But no, I'm gonna cast something on, probably socks most likely, with one or multiple of these yarns, and it'll be so fun. I'll share about it on, you know, my next podcast, and I'll share about it on Instagram. So join. I don't say that a lot. Join if you want to have some, you know, some fun. If you yourself have a skein that you're like, you know, I totally have something that I've been wanting to knit on, and just I just haven't been able to, or I haven't had like the perfect project. I think that's what stops me too, is because a lot of these I'm like, they're so special. What project would do it justice? But like, you know, I think I would appreciate anything that I knit out of this. So there you have it. We're doing a knit along. That was a lot. And yeah, I'm excited to figure out what my next cast on will be, because I have 0 whips right now. So my next cast on will be for the special Skein Cow 2023. Be sure to check out all of the info in the description below. As always, I'll link all the patterns I talked about, but I will also be sharing the knit along information. So, you know, I will also be posting on Instagram, announcing, I'm not sure which will be first, Instagram or YouTube, who knows. But now you know about it. So yeah, feel free to check me out on Instagram. Go check Amanda out. Go check her YouTube, Instagram, her shop out if you're in, you know, the mood for some very pretty hand-dyed indie yarn. And that's it. The coffee and the sugar and everything kicked in. So hopefully I didn't talk too fast. And hopefully all that made sense. I'm not sure if it did. I never do. But thanks for joining, and I'm really excited for this knit along if you cannot tell. And yeah, hopefully you'll join along in the fun. And I guess I'll see you next time.